sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Good afternoon from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Miller Park, the roof is open here today. It's a beautiful day for baseball as we get set for the Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers. It is game 3 of this 3-game series. Brewers have managed just 1 win so far against Atlanta in 6 so far. They got to win today to salvage this 3-game series. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Sophia Bennett, our reporter here this afternoon. Well, the Brewers trying to salvage this final game of the series. They're hoping to get the bats going again. One guy who just keeps proving that he is a very valuable add to this roster is Adam Lind. He came to the Brewers in a trade from the Blue Jays last year. He just keeps hitting right-handed, left-handed. He's having a great year.
Yeah, really most consistent guy in my mind, up and down that batting order throughout the beginning of the year until now. But really no one way to pitch this guy. He has power to all fields. He's been very good against left-handed pitching. I mean, line to line, Adam Lind has been outstanding all season long. And the number that really jumps out at me is the on-base percentage. 377. Not only can he hit, but he's very patient at the plate. He will take a walk, top 10 in home runs and RBIs this year. Right in the middle of that lineup, he had a 9-game RBI stretch broken a couple of days ago, but he's been terrific.
Well, Mike Fiers will be on the mound here this afternoon. He's pitching very well. We'll break down the Fiers success story lately right after this.
Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. The series finale between between the Brewers and the Braves coming up right in a few minutes, and they're setting one of their most consistent starters of the season, Mike Fiers, as he gets set to make his final start before the All-Star break, looking to follow up on what he's done over his last 3 starts, so some of his best outings of the season. He's gone 1-0, an earned run average of 1.35. All 3 of those quality starts, and for pitching coach Rick Kranitz, his success starts with strike 1.
He's attacking the strike zone, and you know, you can see his first pitch strikes are up. He's getting ahead and he's staying ahead, and that's huge for him because, you know, he uses his fastball up a lot, and he's been doing that a lot better. And in order to have effect, you have to get ahead for that to happen, because that way the hitters don't kind of pin you down to a location. So once he gets ahead, I think his whole curveball fastball combination has been working great, and that's what he's been doing.
The Brewers have won all 3 of Fiers' last starts. They're looking to continue that in the series finale. We have first pitch coming up next for you here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Here at Miller Park. Great to have you with us on Fox Sports Wisconsin. It's the Brewers and the Braves. 63 degrees. Doesn't feel like July, but it is the 8th of July. The Brewers have 4 games remaining until the All-Star break, and Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves matching up with Milwaukee for the final time this year. They've had a lot of success against the Brew Crew this season. The Brewers are just 1-5 against Atlanta. Let's give you Freddie's starting lineup today. His Braves look like this. Jace Peterson leads off. Cameron Maybin will hit second. Then Nick Markakis, Kelly Johnson, Juan Uribe, and Andrelton Simmons in the middle of the order with Eury Perez. Ryan Lavarnway will catch today. Julio Teheran on the mound. That is the starting 9 that will face Mike Fiers.
Yeah, Mike Fiers been very good his last 3 starts, but is only 1-0. He's got 2 no decisions in that stretch. In those 3 games combined, 20 innings. He's allowed only 3 earned runs. Last time out against Cincinnati, 3 hits, no runs in 7 innings in a victory, making his 2nd career start against the Atlanta Braves. He made a start earlier this year and got a no decision. Let's check out the Brewers Menards defense tonight. Got a couple of changes. Got Gerardo Parra back in the starting lineup. He's out in right field. Ryan Braun gets this one off today, and Hernan Perez over at third. No Aramis Ramirez. Segura Jeanette up the middle. Adam Lind at first, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate.
Home plate umpire is Lance Barksdale. Quinn Wolcott, Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief. He's out at second base. And third base umpire, the man who had the plate last night, Eric Cooper. Having a chat with third base coach Bo Porter. So all the pieces are in place. It's a beautiful day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we're ready for baseball today at Miller Park. Got a good crowd on hand this afternoon. And we are glad you're with us on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Remember, tomorrow is a team off day. So no broadcast tomorrow. We'll be back with you for the late night West Coast edition of Brewers baseball Friday night in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Fire's ready to go. Jace Peterson, the leadoff hitter, and the first pitch is a strike, and away we go. Brewers have done a lot of winning with Fiers on the mound here recently. They've won his last 3 starts. He has been the winning pitcher only once in those 3 games, but he is pitching very well right now, coming off a beautiful outing against Cincinnati. He went 7 shutout innings, just 3 hits allowed, and probably his best start of the season when you consider that he's facing the Reds, a division rival, and the fact that he was able to go deep into a ball game.
Well, he's starting to do a much better job of that, eating up more innings. Last 2 starts, 7 innings for Fiers, and I think it's in large part due to the fact that he's been able to get his breaking pitches and his changeup over for strikes more consistently.
1-2 pitch to Peterson, a foul ball. Now the Braves won last night. They won the first 2 games, close games both. It was a 5-3 win on Monday night. Last night it was a 4-3 win for Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves. Manny Banuelos, the rookie pitcher, got his first big league win last night. Tyler Cravey took the loss. And he pitched okay. Cravey went 6 innings and 3 earned runs. Gave up some damage with 2 outs last night. All 4 of the Atlanta runs in last night's game were driven in with 2 outs in an inning. But the Brewers had a chance. Stayed in striking distance, but the Braves got great work out of their bullpen. Jace Peterson in the air to center field, and that's the way the day begins for Mike Fiers with an F8.
Well, the changeup for Fiers, as we were talking about on today's pregame show, has been his best pitch as of late. Last 2 starts, very good. And one of the reasons why he's been able to get outs early in counts. Pitch count he's been able to manage because of that pitch. It's been a good one for him early in the count.
Here's Cameron Maybin. You got 2 guys at the top of this Atlanta order coming to Atlanta from San Diego. 2 different trades the Braves made with the Padres this year. 2 big ones. And the first one involving Justin Upton. And then the second trade, which was in April, involving their closer, Craig Kimbrell. Jason Grilli has saves in his last 2 games here in Milwaukee. Couldn't be better than Craig Kimbrell right now. And he's only blown 2 saves all year.
Yeah, and he struck out the side last night in the bottom of the 9th.
Fly ball right field, shallow, long run out there. And Parra will run it down to the line. 2 outs. 2 fly ball outs for Fiers.
Yeah, typically a fly ball pitcher because he likes to work that fastball up in the zone. Good compliment to the big overhand curveball, which has been better for him.
Two up, 2 down. Here is Nick Markakis. Braves have 3 left-handers in the top 4 spots in their batting order. Peterson, Markakis, and the cleanup hitter is Kelly Johnson.
And mercifully, A.J. Przinsky not in the starting lineup today.
Well, that guy's had 2 great games. Przinsky, 7 hits in the series. Had a 4-hit game on Monday, 3 hits last night with a couple of doubles and a homer. Broken bat right to Gennett. And the play is made to end it. Fiers a good start. 3 up, 3 down. The Brewers are coming up against Julio Teheran. first. Now Julio Teheran will match up against the Milwaukee Brewers, and Craig Counsell has a big piece back here today. Gerardo Parra returns to his lineup. He agonized over leaving Parra out of the starting lineup yesterday. So here's how it looks with Parra leading off, Lucroy, then Gomez batting third. No Ryan Braun today. Adam Lynn, Chris Davis, Scooter Gennett in the middle with Segura, Perez, and Fires rounding it out.
That's been an interesting year for Julio Teheran. His road and home split so much different. Road and run average over 7, but at home around 2. So much better in his home ballpark. He's given up a lot of runs in the first inning this year, 14 of them. Making start number 5 against Milwaukee. He's 2-2 career.
Teheran was very good against the Brewers in Atlanta. And he's been good lately. He is an interesting pitcher in that his home and road splits are dramatic. As you mentioned, it's hard to figure why it would be that way with a pitcher like Teheran. He's not won a road game since his first game of the season, his opening day start, and he was the #1 for Atlanta.
Yeah, something's going to give today because the Brewers have not been very good at Miller Park this year, and Teheran very bad on the road.
Had a blow-up start in Boston at Fenway. Gave up 8 runs against the Dodgers in 4 1/3 innings at Dodger Stadium. Gerardo Parra hits it sharply right to the Gold Glover Simmons, and Parra is retired. 1 gone here in the first.
Well, the Menards defense, you saw Andrelton Simmons, one of the best in the business at short. He's only committed 3 errors. Lavarnway behind home plate. No A.J. Pierzynski today. The Braves are amongst league leaders in double plays. They're very solid defensively, particularly up the middle with Andrelton Simmons and Jace Peterson.
Noticeably absent from the Braves lineup is Freddie Freeman. He's on the disabled list with a wrist injury. And yet the Braves keep winning. They are at 42-42 now, and just 4 games back of division leader Washington. Lucroy back in the 2 spot for Counsell today. Hit a home run last night. He hit a rocket out of here into the Toyota territory in right center. Starting to get a little bit of his power back.
Yeah, right below that Toyota territory sign, and gave the Brewers a very short-lived lead in the first inning yesterday.
And Lucroy, when he's at his best, he's going up the middle, and he can drive the ball up the middle or to the opposite field. And this one flying high into right center yesterday. His first Miller Park homer. Powerball home run number 2 overall for Lucroy, who missed significant time with that broken toe. Fractured his big toe on his left foot on a foul ball in April.
Doesn't really show any ill effects from that. I mean, his catching has been very good, throwing around a lot of base runners. He seems to be running the bases like he did before he broke that toe.
And Lucroy draws the walk. So the first base runner of the day. The Brewers get Lucroy aboard for Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, Teheran not a hard thrower. I mean, low to mid 90s, 93 tops out at. He's got a good curve ball. He'll throw a changeup as well. He will walk guys. 36 walks amongst league leaders and walks in the National League. So you got to wait him out. Be patient.
Gomez in the 3 spot with Ryan Braun enjoying a day off from the starting lineup. Gives Counsell a big bat off the bench. And it really gives Braun and Ramirez 2 days off because of the team day off tomorrow. And then 3 in LA, and then you've got 4 days off for the All-Star break. So this is a time to heal up a little bit. Brewers are on a nice little run. Even though they've lost the last 2, the Brewers won 8 consecutive games, 7 of those on the road on the last road trip. Went 7-0 on that trip, scoring over 7 runs a game, had 99 hits in 7 games on the road, and a perfect record through Philadelphia and Cincinnati.
And even with Ramirez and Broad out of the lineup, you have 2 guys in the lineup that have contributed nicely offensively. Gerardo Parra and even Hernan Perez has been very good at the plate. You don't mind giving guys days off when the rest of your guys have been swinging the bats.
Gomez in a 2-1 count. He's got Lucroy at first. One of the themes for Milwaukee during this recent hot streak, they've been able to score first a lot. Matter of fact, the Brewers have scored in the first inning in 8 of the last 9 games, including each of the last 3 games. This season, the Brewers have scored 54 first inning runs.
Man, Tehran's given up 14 first inning runs, so it's a good combination.
And Gomez draws the walk. Back-to-back walks will set up 2 on for one of the Brewers' hottest hitters. And the focus of our open here today, and Adam Lind. Lavarnway out for a quick chat with Tehran. Started with a ground ball out. Pretty sharply hit ground ball by Parra, but then back-to-back walks. Tehran normally has decent command. He doesn't typically walk a lot of hitters. His last start against Philadelphia, he walked just 3 in 7 innings. And no earned runs in that game. He already has 2 walks here. To back-to-back hitters in the first. Here is Lind now. That face kind of tells it all. He's not missing by much, but you can almost see Tehran saying, okay, this is how it's going to be today.
Yeah, well, again, he doesn't throw hard enough to be able to get away with too much of the plate, so he's got to be able to find the corners. Has not been able to do it so far, and the Brewers have been patient.
Lind in the go zone now, and he takes a strike. Good pitch, inside corner strike with a fastball.
Yeah, Tehran's got 2 fastballs, the 4-seamer, 2-seamer. 4-seamer a little bit harder coming in than the 2-seam. Less movement on it.
Two on, 1 away. And it's 2-1. Lind has a very good eye. Part of the reason his on base percentage is up there at .377. He'll take his walks. His stats are starting to stack up among the best in the National League. Certainly all-star caliber numbers. He's not on the all-star team, but could certainly represent the Brewers at that game with his numbers this season. That misses inside. 3-1.
Yep, top 10 in RBIs and home runs, hitting almost 300 at .299.
He's 6th in the league in OPS, combining the on-base percentage with the slugging percentage. He's got an OPS of .902 this year. 8th in RBIs. Top 10 in extra base hits as well. Tied for 9th in homers. And he got jammed a little. He was late. Flare into left field. Perez makes a catch for out number 2.
Yeah, got in on a 3-1 count. Yeah, hitters hate that. They call it a free hack when you have a 2-0 3-1 count, particularly with men on base. And Lind jammed himself on a fastball.
So it'll be Chris Davis who gets the start in left field once again today. Back-to-back starts after coming off the disabled list. Had a meniscus tear, bit of a freak accident at the plate. He tore that meniscus on a swing, and it required surgery. It's been just a little over a month since that surgery. Davis had a good rehab, went down to the minor leagues for 6 games, and then eligible yesterday and got the start and had a good game. Davis missed a home run, maybe 2 home runs by a fraction on the bat. Had a couple of deep fly ball outs. He was 1 for 3. He drew a walk. Made a good play in the outfield. Had a great sliding catch in foul territory just before the wall.
Yeah, finally for Craig Counsell, the offense back intact. And really first time since opening day. Guys starting to get healthy.
2 on, 2 out, 2-0 count. And did he go? Yes, he did, says the base umpire, Quinn Wolcott. Davis missed 35 games. Went on the disabled list May 31st. And just came back yesterday. Meniscus tear in the right knee. Pretty amazing. He undergoes surgery on that injury on June 2nd and returns July 7th.
Amazing. Yeah, it is. And really doesn't show any signs of any problems with that knee. They have you up and walking around very quickly after those surgeries and right back at it.
He's got a hitter's count, 3-1. Davis fouls it back. He had a big cut. 3-2 now. Yesterday's starter for the Braves, Manny Banuelos, was off to a very similar start. 2 on. There was a run in on a home run. And he threw 29 pitches in the first inning. Brewers were trying to deliver a couple of shots early and couldn't do it outside of the home run. Banuelos would end up going through his start, allowing just that first inning run. Runners go, and Davis fouls it back.
Another good pitch to hit. So Tehran realizing he's not really too good on the corners in the first inning, getting a lot of the plate, but Davis a little bit behind, 2 fastballs.
And don't be fooled by the home run numbers of Chris Davis. He has just 5 this year, but he's only played in 47 games. And you could call it a slow start for him. He has as much power as anybody in baseball. He's not a big guy, but he packs big punch. Brewers are hoping he emerges as a 25-30 homer a season player. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss, and Davis is down on strikes. A couple of walks. Brewers strand 2 as we go to the second.
Second here at Miller Park, and Mike Fier is looking to follow up what he's done over his last 3 starts. Just 3 earned runs for him over his last 20 innings pitched. And as we heard from pitching coach Rick Kranitz, it all starts with strike one for Fiers. He said he's getting ahead in counts, so that's leading to earlier outs, which is helping him get deeper into games. He's battled high pitch counts all season long, and he said the strikeout numbers haven't been there for Fiers recently, but we're seeing a lot of those fly ball outs. We saw 2 of those already in the first inning. He says it just shows how well his fastball and curveball combination is working.
All right, Sophia, thanks. On the first pitch, Kelly Johnson pops up. Perez makes the play on him. And back to her point, Rock, Fiers is a guy who averages over 4 pitches per plate appearance, and that is among league leaders. It's starting to drop a little bit with his last 3 starts, but he'd like to see that number get into the mid 3s, maybe the low 3s. I don't think Fiers is ever going to be a guy to go in the high 2s with pitches per plate appearance, but that's going to help him. That basically is going to buy him an inning or 2 throughout the season.
Well, last 3 starts, we talked about it, and you know the reason for that, last 3 starts able to get a little bit deeper in the games because better command of his off-speed stuff. Now, when he didn't have the curveball going, he really didn't use his changeup too much. A lot of fastballs. He was getting a lot of foul balls because hitters were looking for the fastball. Still not able to get it barreled up so much, but those foul balls were getting that pitch count up quite a bit. But as we said, last 3 starts, changeup has been very good. Not too many people talking about the changeup, but the changeup for me, last 2-3 starts has been the difference maker for him.
Facing Juan Uribe, there is the changeup, and he misses low. That was a good pitch. Uribe didn't bite on it.
Early in the season, didn't have it working for him, making mistakes with it. A curveball, very inconsistent, but much better lately.
Fiers throwing 11 pitches to the first 4 hitters. So you start to play the game here, and he's got 4 pitches in this at bat to Uribe. 3 balls and a strike to count. And he lost him. So Uribe draws the walk. First blemish for Fiers. Brewers got a couple of walks in the first inning against Tehran. Could not bring him in. Here's Andrelton Simmons, batting 6th in the Atlanta lineup. He's having a bit of a down year offensively, is Simmons. He's got some power. Simmons does hit some home runs, but he only has 3 this season. He is a first ball hacker on most at bats, so he's a pretty good matchup for Mike Fiers.
The Chipper Jones clone up the plate.
Yeah, the right-handed version of the future Hall of Famer Chipper Jones, one of the greatest switch hitters of all time.
It's scary how similar that batting stance is for Andrelton Simmons to Chipper Jones.
Simmons has established himself as one of the great defensive shortstops in the game. Won the Gold Glove last season. Matter of fact, he's won the last 2 Gold Glove awards at shortstop. This is only his 4th year in the big leagues. Braves haven't seen the kind of production, the power production that they saw in his 2nd year when he hit 17 homers. Swing and a miss. Fiers strikes him out. And the 2nd out of the inning is Fiers' first K of the day.
Well, the one pitch that hadn't had a whole lot of play lately is the cut fastball. I think that might have been one right there. And Simmons tried to pull it and came up empty. And it was a stretch where Fiers was basically cutter 4-seam fastball. It didn't have the other 2 working for him. Haven't seen too much of the cutter because the other 2 have been much better.
2 away, runner at first for Eury Perez. And he takes a strike from Fiers. Sophia had a chance to catch up with Rick Kranitz about Fiers, the Brewer pitching coach, and he was talking about how aggressive he has been, meaning it's one thing to be aggressive in the strike zone and throw strikes, but you have to have command to be aggressive. You can't just throw one right down the middle or not know where to put it. That's where all that scouting or footwork comes into play and where guys' tendencies are, their weaknesses, their hot and cold spots, and you got to go hit that to get ahead in counts.
Yep, everybody knows who the first pitch fastball hitters are, and you try to avoid, that first pitch strike right down the middle of those guys. Maybe flip up a curveball, try to catch the outside corner.
There's such an art to it. To pitch, especially when you don't have the overpowering stuff like Fires, that we're only talking about fractions of movements here or there. The difference between a cutter, which moves a little away, the curveball, which is about 6 to 8 miles an hour slower, and he can throw it into the 60-mile-an-hour range, as a matter of fact. Just those subtle movements and locations, they make all the difference in the world for a guy like Mike Fires.
Just a matter of trying to throw the timing off of the hitter. That's all pitching's about.
And you see a lot of swings just like that when Fires is going good.
Yeah, that changeup and the off-speed pitch, and able to keep it down, not leaving it up in the zone, and it's been a difference maker for him. It really has.
'25-year-old Eury Perez, Braves left fielder for all 3 of these games. A swing and a miss. Down he goes. So Fires with back-to-back Ks, 2 scoreless innings to get his day started.
The second, and we're going to watch. Let me start over. You're going to want to make sure you're at Miller Park on Saturday, August 15th, as the Brewers square off against the Phillies. And after the game, the Goo Goo Dolls take the stage to perform all their biggest hits. Reserve your spot today at brewers.com/concerts. A little distracted between innings. I apologize for the promo.
It's a promo mulligan.
Be more than happy to do it again later in the game.
What was distracting you here in the booth?
We were talking about Mike Fires and the way he's been pitching and how good the changeup has been, amongst other things. We're easily distracted.
Yes, we are. Squirrel. Schooner Jeanette on the first pitch. A pop-up, and the shortstop Simmons makes the catch for the first out.
Actually, I wasn't even sure we were back, so that's why a little flustered.
I like the little innovation. It's not a sunny day, but it's kind of a bright day. And he's made his own hat about it. But what's interesting is he's making a hat out of it's the Bill Schroeder magazine cover. It's the Brewers game day. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And there you are. What year is that, Rock, circa?
Well, I'm not sure. That's at County Stadium for sure.
Got
the home whites.
You got the mullet. Got the mullet working with Did you spritz that up a little bit
Let's
before
say,
games?
let's say that's 87. I just ripped one into the gap somewhere.
Looks like an opposite field right center.
Actually, looks like a rollover on aisle 5. That was a 5-3 put out.
No, that's a base hit. Kind of like the way that guy's got the hat going, though.
Keep the sun off the forehead.
Yeah.
Sun smart.
And what better bill of a hat than a Bill Schroeder magazine cover? We're all excited. Rock's going to be heading into the Brewers Wall of Honor. And we got an extravaganza planned on Friday when we resume play after the All-Star break.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. Looking forward to that. Yeah, family coming in, a lot of friends coming to the ballpark.
There's another pop-up. Back is Peterson now, and he makes a catch for out number 2. So a couple of pop-up outs. Oh, there's a nice hat. It's like a little barbershop quartet kind of look right there. Keeping score.
Little Fred Astaire action. Or is that Ricky Ricardo?
You can punch a hole through that. Isn't that part of the bid? Festive atmosphere here today. Hernan Perez with 2 away. Good thing about the Bill Schroeder Wall of Honor day is that you get the day all to yourself. We're kind of thinking about giving you the day off.
Really?
Yeah. If you know.
When were you planning on telling me that?
Now we're still.
Now is that just you talking, or is that the big boys talking?
That's what we call a fluid situation. So we're just kind of pitching around some ideas.
I'm not sure. You got the power to give me the day off. I'm not sure. So have you gone up the ladder on that one?
Well, the debate right now is if we let you now. I believe you're going to throw out the first pitch.
That's
the
plan. That's the plan.
So then you're going to, if you're going to go hang out with your family and you got a little party going on while the game starts, the debate is whether we bring you back knowing what might be going on down there for the comedy of it all, or do we just let you have your day?
Well, if you bring me back, make sure it's in the first couple innings.
That's my point. Oh, we're going to stick a microphone in your face at some point.
Although you might get some real analysis later on.
It's the truth serum.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
yeah,
Rock.
It's going to be fun. I really appreciate the Brewers and everybody that's all a part of that. That means a lot to me. It really does.
He'll be the 59th member of the Wall of Honor, and he'll be inducted all alone Friday week. Not this Friday, next Friday. After more than 30 years as a player and a broadcaster in the Brewers family. Perez in a 3-2 count, trying to extend this second inning after 2 pop-up outs to start it.
Yeah, Tehran getting away with some, average fastballs up and down the middle of the plate. We see that from Mike Fiers each and every start because of his release point, but Tehran's been getting a lot of the plate with some of those pitches, and the Brewers haven't been able to square them up.
Another 3-2 pitch, and he got him. Tehran with a 3-up, 3-down second. His second strikeout. We go to the third. No score at Miller Park. Miller Park on a Wednesday afternoon. It is now time for you to tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WisDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. It's going on all over baseball, so make sure you put the WIS on there. WisDataStrongFan. Fiers has been strong to start this one. 2 Ks, a walk, 2 scoreless innings to start it. Fiers will face Ryan Lavarnway, and then the pitcher Tehran, and then to the top of the order, Jace Peterson. Lavarnway getting the call behind the plate today. Pierzynski started the first 2 games and had a 4-hit game on Monday night, 3 hits last night.
Yeah, 38 years old. You figure he gets the day game after a night game off. Lucroy's catching today after catching last night. A few years difference between the two.
He's had a great year. The Braves rave about A.J. Pierzynski at 38 years of age, and just when you want to kind of put a fork in him, he keeps producing.
Been a good influence on this young pitching staff. They've got 3 starters this year that made their major league debut. Bunch of guys under 24 on the mound, and Pierzynski's helping them get through it.
0-2 pitch, and it misses high. When Pierzynski does decide to hang him up, who knows how long he'll play. He's going to be, I would imagine, a presence on television. He'll be a great analyst. He does great work for us, or for Fox, during the postseason in the studio. So he'll have a long TV career if he wants one. On the ground, a base hit, and the first hit of the game. Something about those Atlanta catchers.
They've got a fastball up out over the plate and able to hit it hard in center field. Varnier, big boy, another big catcher. We saw some from the Phillies. Varnier, 6'4".
Schroeder-sized catcher.
You always say that. How about Lance Parrish? How about if we go in that direction?
Who?
Carlton Fisk.
Yep, never heard of.
Bob Boone.
Who?
Some big men.
Tehran shows bunt and takes a ball. I love Lance Parrish's nickname, the Big Wheel. It's perfect too.
Yeah. Well, those backup catchers, you get an opportunity to get into a game like Warren Way today. He gets to hit his first time up. We've talked about that with Maldonado when those guys get to play. The few times they get their name in the starting lineup, and that's so important for the confidence to get something going early. Get that hit, you feel like the pressure's off.
Maybe more than any other position on a 25-man major league roster, the backup catcher has to have a little bit of social success, let's say. He's got to be the guy that doesn't drag down the clubhouse, and the guy that stays positive, a good teammate.
Has to understand his role, that he's going to maybe play once a week.
Fiers throws it away. Lynn wasn't even on the bag. And now Lavarnway to second on a throwing error by Fiers, who has a few of those this season.
Yeah, not sure what Adam Lynn was doing there. I mean, really not prepared to take that throw, and really wasn't even in a position to bend down and get it. Well, check it out. He completely surprised and almost an Ole effort out there. And Lavarnway, who really isn't going to steal anyway, not sure why Fiers is worried so much about him. It'll be an E1, I would imagine, and man in scoring position.
That's the fourth error for Fiers. So now Tehran trying to bunt him to third base. And he does get it down. Perez comes in, barehands it, and he'll make the play for the out. Sacrifice bunt for Julio Tehran.
Hey, at Miller Park every Sunday is an all-fans Sunday. All fans at Miller Park on Sunday, July 19th, for the weekend finale between the Brewers and the Pirates. We'll get a bobblehead of the Brewers outfielder Chris Davis, courtesy of Wisconsin National Guard. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today.
The big chill. Lance Parrish, the big wheel, and Chris Davis, the big chill. Top of the order with a runner at third. Jace Peterson, and a swing and a miss. Good changeup from Fires.
And Peterson, known as a first ball hitter. Throwing something else, particularly the man at third.
Infield in for the Brewers. Peterson won a game against Milwaukee in a walk-off. It was an extra inning walk-off hit for Jace Peterson. That was a win on May 23rd. Got a hit off Brandon Kinsler. And at that time, the Braves got back to 500 at 21-21, and so they've been kind of hovering around 500 but under. But their win last night put them back to 500 at 42-42, and with a Washington loss, Max Scherzer lost for the Nationals yesterday. Johnny Cueto beat him. Braves are just 4 back. A strike. Little breaking ball in there, maybe a cut fastball, and it's 2-2.
I think everybody's surprised where the Braves are right now, particularly the Braves. I would imagine the front office, given all the trades that they pulled off in the offseason and early in the year. But who would have thought a 500 record would have you right in the race?
Well, they're certainly in it, and if not for the division, which they're certainly in as well, they're also right in the mix in the wild card race as well. Remember, 2 wild card teams. Right now, Pittsburgh occupies the top spot, and then the Cubs. So the Braves are 4.5 back of the second wild card spot. And Fires loses Peterson, his second walk. And now the Braves have him at first and third with 1 out for Cameron Maybin.
And not so sure that they weren't too unhappy about that walk. I mean, pitching around him maybe a little bit, setting up double play. Maybin grounds into a lot of double plays. He grounded into one last night. Rolled into 10 double plays this year. Make a good pitch, get out of the inning.
He's extremely fast, but he does hit the ball hard on the ground, which is why he's bounced into so many double plays. Yesterday hit one sharply right at third base. Ramirez turned it into an easy 5-3 double play. Maybin's also been one of the Braves' best hitters with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .403 in situations like this. Been a nice pickup for Atlanta. Most of the guys they acquired are all performing well, better than expected. Runner goes. Peterson. There's a little cue shot, and it's going to squib foul.
Yeah, Brewers fortunate there because Peterson had that one stolen. Had a huge jump. You wonder why Maybin swung at it, because he had the bag stolen easily. A lot of hitters will take that pitch, let them get into second base, and then they're up there with 2 men in scoring position instead of 1.
In the air to left, well hit. Maybin sends one deep, and Davis is out of room. A 3-run home run. And the Braves strike in a big way here in the third inning as Cameron Maybin pops his 8th home run of the season. 3-0 Braves just like that.
And he was sitting back on that off-speed pitch. It was a changeup by Fires, but he left it inside, and Maben knocked it out of here. You know, the idea of changeup, not just the speed differential, but keeping that ball away. You don't want to change up on the inside corner.
Well, he's having a nice year, Cameron Maben. Now with 43 runs batted in and 8 homers, got his average hovering around 300. Keep feeding him. So the Braves are up just like that. Here's Nick Markakis with 1 out. Fires has not allowed 3 earned runs in a game since June 17th in Kansas City. Giving up 3 runs with 1 swing of the bat here in the Atlanta third. Had 3 starts for Fires, giving up 2 runs, 1 run, and no runs his last time out. Markakis pops it foul. First year Brave Nick Markakis from the Atlanta area. Woodstock, Georgia. Signed a 4-year deal with the Braves. He is still without a home run this year. Had off-season neck surgery, and they knew he would be a little time coming back. Hasn't quite gotten his power, but he gets on base a lot. He's maintained a high batting average.
Yeah, on base percentage 100 points almost above his batting average, so a good disciplined hitter up there. And far cry from the outfield that they had a year ago, right? The Upton brothers, both free swingers.
Now their strikeouts are significantly down.
Jason Hayward out there last year.
The Braves traded Jason Hayward for Shelby Miller. Miller has made the All-Star team this year. He's the lone Braves representative. Ground ball to Jeanette, and Markakis is out number 2. That'll bring up Kelly Johnson. He was the star on Monday night. Drove in 3, hit a 2-run home run in the first inning. Had an RBI single as well. Part of that 5-3 Atlanta win Monday. And he'll be playing a lot now over at first base in the absence of Freddie Freeman.
And they've hung in there without Freeman too. Back to 500. Still a big bat. You wonder how long they're going to be able to survive without that guy in their lineup. I mean, when you're without your 3-4 hitter in your lineup for an extended period of time, it's going to take its toll.
And it's a wrist injury for Freeman, so there is some concern there. As Johnson hits that one hard into right center, and that one's going to sail out of here. Kelly Johnson with a home run, and it is 4-0 Atlanta. Home run number 8 for Kelly Johnson, and his second of the series.
Now talk about being able to get on top of a high fastball, huh? There it is, out over the plate, and Kelly Johnson, his second home run. He had a 2-run shot in the first game of this series. 88 miles an hour, pretty straight, knocked it out of here. A line drive. These guys are swinging the bats.
Boy, are they.
And they came in here really not doing that.
Braves have won 6 of their last 8 games, mostly because of their pitching. Juan Uribe, who walked in the second.
The Braves put up 15 hits on Monday night.
Well, Freddy Gonzalez is in a good spot. They started the year talking about a rebuild season in Atlanta. And Uribe in the right field, a base hit. I think most expected Atlanta to be down toward the bottom of the National League East, at least with the personnel. And so that has a tendency to free up players a little bit. They've all, for the most part, all of their new acquisitions are playing above what everyone expected, and they are in the race. And now the question is, does John Hart, who is the president of baseball operations with Atlanta, does he start to make trades to help bolster this roster as a contender? Does he go for a piece here or there? Probably need another big bat, you would imagine. And they have the prospects that they could trade. So they might have to redirect what they were planning on doing, which was about a 2-year rebuild.
Right. And the Braves are very happy with the guys they have still in the minor leagues, young pitching. No shortage of pitching in that Braves organization right now.
There's a bunt on a curveball, and it is foul by Simmons. Tough inning for Mike Fiers. He had not allowed a homer in the last 3 starts. He's given up 2 in this inning.
Yeah, hadn't allowed a hit before this inning. He's pretty much breezed for the first 2 innings, and he's been anything but. All started with a base hit by LeBarnway leading off this inning. The number 8 hitter.
Fiers committed an error in this inning. His 4th error of the season. This has been one to forget. Brewers just have not played well here at Miller Park for whatever reason. And when you're having a season like this, you want to give your home fans something to cheer about. Give them an experience.
Yeah, 13 games under 500 coming into today's game.
It's been ugly. 15-28. The home record.
And 21-22 on the road.
Two and 2 on Simmons. Just checking to see if he swung. He was able to check it. So interesting that the Braves make these offseason deals, and one of the blockbuster deals was for closer Craig Kimbrell. And here are the Braves thinking, they're going to have this season to rebuild as Simmons chases one. Well, Kimbrell's on the trade block at this point. Go figure. It's a great game that way. Atlanta gets 4 runs in the 3rd inning. swings of the bat. Maben and Kelly Johnson with homers. Here is today's Watch 'em and Win 'em sweepstakes image. Log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. Click on the Watch 'em and Win 'em banner. That's on the homepage. That's how you enter. And if you're not a winner today, tune in again Friday for another chance to win. We're giving away great prizes during every Brewers broadcast in July. You got to read all that, Rock, before we can take it off the screen.
I was trying to read that yesterday. Didn't have enough time.
Just put your DVR on, rewind it, hit pause, and get through it.
Right, or take a shot of it with your phone.
At the end of a Chuck Lorre sitcom. Fires leads off. He's down 0-2 quickly after giving up 4 runs in the third. Rough start. Big crowd on hand to see this one, and not a whole lot to cheer about thus far here at Miller Park. See if the Brewers can get the bats going a little bit. Fires strikes out to start the third inning. Third strikeout for Tehran, who goes through the order for the first time with the Brewers hitless. 0 for 7 with 2 walks. Top of the order, here is Parra. Parra's been doing a great job as a leadoff hitter when given the chance. This is his 17th game as a leadoff batter. He's hitting .377 as a leadoff hitter coming in, with an on-base percentage of .416. He had a streak going of multi-hit games. He had 6 consecutive multi-hit games. First time since 05 that has happened. Brady Clark. But he did pinch hit and struck out last night.
Had some home runs on the road trip. Actually had one on Monday night.
He's got 3 homers as a leadoff hitter, and he's had 2 homers in the last week. Had a home run Friday to lead off in Cincinnati, and then a home run Monday.
Good off-speed pitch right there by Tehran. Yeah, basically a 4-pitch pitcher, but he went to the Brewers lineup the first time with essentially the fastball, threw a couple of sliders. And he just broke out his changeup right there.
Brewers had a chance in the first inning with 2 on and 1 out, and couldn't score him. Lind was even up there in a 3-1 count with 2 on and 1 out. Tehran was able to jam him for a fly out, and then he struck out Davis 2-ending. That was in a 3-2 count. Half swing. Did he go? He did. And Parra's upset at Eric Cooper, but upset as he walks back to the dugout, and Cooper will let him vent a little bit.
Gave him a little bit of rope there to say his piece. That's pretty close. It could have gone either way, but third base umpire rings him up. Gave him a lot of leash, as a matter of fact.
One more turn. If he'd have turned back, he was going to get thrown out. He was. Cooper was in the ring up position.
He was getting into the pose. He was.
See, umpires are supposed to be the keepers of the peace, and he recognized that Parra was on it. He said what he had to say. He was on his way out. Good job.
Now Eddie's giving him a little bit of business.
Friendly business, I'm sure. Lucroy in a 1-1 count.
Probably saying thanks for not throwing him out. He's been one of our best hitters.
But in Ed Cedarway makes it sound funny. Hey, Eric. That was a good call. Lucroy pops it up. The catcher Lavarnway will make the play in another 3-up, 3-down inning. 8 in a row retired by Tehran as we go to the 4th. for baseball. So far, the Braves making all the noise thus far. 4 runs in the third, a 3-run home run by Maben, then a solo shot by Johnson. Carsoup.com trivia: who are the 3 relief pitchers in Brewers history to be named to at least 2 All-Star games with Milwaukee? So we're looking for relief pitchers, 2 All-Star appearances. There have been 3 of them. One of them is out there. I don't know if he's out there yet, but he's in the bullpen.
He'll be out there
at some point. Fiers hoping to settle things down a little bit after a rough 3rd inning. He got off to a great start, 2 scoreless with 2 strikeouts, and then 8 batters coming to the plate last inning. 4 hits, a walk. There was an error. The big strike was Cameron Maben's 3-run home run. Shows bunt, pushes it this time. Lind is there, and a hustle to the bag and out at first. Close play, so close that Perez wants his staff to take a look at this replay. He thinks he got in there.
Lucky he didn't get his hand stepped on. Well, he's standing there. He's standing at first base. He thinks he's safe. He might be. Might take a look at that. It's a leadoff runner, base runner.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he might have a beef. This will be a good look. Let's see. Boy, you just can't.
Is there enough to overturn it? That's the question.
Can't quite tell. That's actually a smart slide by Perez. Normally, you don't want to slide at first base unless you're trying to avoid a tag, and that would have been an easy out for Lind if he has the ability to tag him. And now Freddie Gonzalez said take a look at it, so they're going to check it.
Yeah, they say it's close enough to try. That's what if you're a lip reader in that dugout.
So the calling umpire, Quinn Wolcott, will come over with the crew chief, Gary Cedarstrom, and they'll pop the headsets on back to New York. And the umpires in New York, they're probably already reviewing this one. They'll let them know what the verdict is. It's close, but
if he doesn't slide, I think Lind's going to be able to tag him before he gets to the bag. But because he did slide, it's going to be pretty close. Question is there enough to overturn it?
They're showing the replays now. Everybody's looking at them, including the umpires. It doesn't matter what these guys see either, by the way.
They're out of it at this point.
I've had a few fans ask me, you know, if the umpires are sitting there with the headsets on and they see that he's safe or out, or you can overturn it, why don't they just make the call? But once they go to the challenge, then it is in the hands of the replay umpire that is assigned to this game.
It's going to be close. I mean, I don't think there's enough to overturn it, but we've been surprised before. Could go either way.
I feel like the general theme of replay challenges this year has been, if it's so close and you have to look at multiple angles and it takes a long time, it rarely gets overturned.
Yeah, we saw that in Cincinnati on Saturday. Big call on Ryan Braun stealing at third base. Opened up a huge inning for the Brewers. It looked like he might have been out.
Yeah, that challenge took over 4 minutes. That's something baseball's trying to avoid, these long challenges. And it kind of goes back to the original thought that if it takes this long with video replay, then it can't be conclusive.
Right.
I mean, that's right. That's probably the best look. And it's tough to really tell if Lind had his foot on the bag or the bottom of the spike on the bag or not. So all of these angles we're showing you, and the Braves telecast, and we're able to grab some of those angles as well, and there you share ours as well. And then all of those angles from both broadcasts are available to the replay umpires in New York.
might be your best angle at it right here, but I'll tell you, that's bang bang. Let's see what they're going to call.
Headsets are coming off, and out is the call. So I would imagine not enough evidence there to overturn the call. So the call stands, and that's the language when it is not clear and conclusive. Had they said the call is confirmed, that means it was conclusive that the call was proper. Or obviously, if it was overturned, they would have been able to see it too. So, all right. Perez is out, close play. Freddie Gonzalez is out of challenges the rest of the day. And it takes 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Lavarnway with one away. Two and one. Lavarnway started the big inning last inning with a single to lead off and was on base when Maben went deep. 4-run third for Atlanta. Cameron Maben a 3-run homer. Kelly Johnson hit a solo shot. Popped him up. Adam Lind wants it. And 2 men are out.
High fastball and a 2-1 pitch, and that's what Mike Fiers can do. I mean, sometimes he will give that fastball by these guys, even in a hitter's count.
A lot of outs in the air here today. It's not the best ballpark for Mike Fiers. He is a fly ball pitcher. Now the Maben home run would have been out at any park. Kelly Johnson's maybe half. All the hitters' parks for sure, but
probably not his own ballpark.
Yeah, no. 2-0 on the pitcher Tehran. Fiers needs a quick inning here after a 4-run third. He's got the pitcher up with 2 outs. Don't want to mess around. And he falls behind him 3-0. Top of the order next, Jace Peterson. And he lost him. Wow, he walked the pitcher on 4 consecutive. And that will burn him up, I promise you.
And his pitching coach.
So now he's got to deal with Jace Peterson with a man on, who's batting for the 3rd time. He didn't want to do it, but just lost the strike zone there briefly. And now he's going to have to grind. Peterson walked his last time up. Right off the end of the bat, coming in Perez. And that will retire the side. So Fiers puts up a 0 in the 4th. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Gomez will lead off.
for the Brewers, but it's always a great day to be here at Miller Park, and some kids from the YMCA, nearly 2,000, are here enjoying their YMCA day camp field trip. I'm joined now by Chris Shapelski of the YMCA. And Chris, you guys run all summer long, all 5 days a week. What are the best activities at the YMCA day camp?
Oh my gosh, well, the best activity is every Wednesday we're on a field trip such as this. We got 1,950 kids from 3 different associations, 1 mission. So Wednesday field trips are fantastic. But what we really focus on with our kids are arts and crafts, science, math, reading. Our biggest goal is we want kids to be ready when they go back to school. And through all that and physical activity as well, kids doing different things that they might not feel comfortable doing, and they take some safe chances, new experiences, and build their self-confidence. And that's our biggest goal. We just want them to build self-confidence, make new friends, and just have a fun, safe summer.
Well, it's great work what you do with these kids, who are great kids joining us here today, and Brewers Community Foundation providing the tickets and some backpacks for you guys. But Leo, I'll start with you. What's your favorite part of day camp?
Yeah, I like to go to the pool and play kickball and fall trail.
There we go, all good stuff. And Cooper, what's your favorite part of day camp or coming here to Miller Park?
My favorite part is probably sports camp.
What, is baseball your favorite?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, and I like playing basketball before and after Y camp.
All right, and Wilson, what's your favorite part of day camp?
My favorite part is the counselors. I love seeing the counselors, and I always remember them year after year.
Oh, that's the best part, the counselors. They always make it so fun. So it's a great day to be here at Miller Park for YMCA Day Camp, and Brewers Community Foundation, a great partnership. Their 6th year sponsoring the YMCA.
All right, look at those cute kids. Good to have them all here. They're making a lot of noise today, and all those camp counselors and instructors and everybody who organizes all of those activities, we tip our hat to you as well. That is a thankless job sometimes.
A lot of hard work.
Yeah,
really.
The real heroes,
work.
along with the teachers.
Yep,
and so good work. Great to have them here at Miller Park. As Gomez strikes out to start the inning. I frequent the YMCA over in Pabst Farms, the Pabst Farms YMCA. That is an incredible facility out in Lake Country. They do great work, ball fields everywhere, and it's a lot of fun.
Keep the kids occupied in the summer. Keep them out of trouble. That's the key.
Keep them in shape.
Take safe chances. I like that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Adam Lind. Tehran is dialed up right now. That one's up and in on Lind. Powerball home run leaderboard. Adam Lind. We don't have 2 spaces on the top. That's just the way the graphic is, but you get the idea. He's up there. He can have that spot if he homers. The incumbent remains.
It's alphabetical order. Let's just say that.
Ryan Braun and Adam Lind with 15 apiece. Both in the top 10 of the league in home runs. Adam flew out to left his first time up. That was really a key at bat in the first inning for Tehran, because he had walked 2. He had Lind in a 3-1 count, and then got him to fly out weakly to left field. And the Brewers have not had a base runner since that first inning. 9 in a row retired by Julio Tehran.
Nothing makes a hitter more angry than doing that on a 3-1 count. 2-0, 3-1. You feel like you need to get the bat head out and hit one hard somewhere, but he got jammed.
And he draws a walk. So that's the 3rd base runner. The Brewers do not have a hit, but 3 base runners via the walk.
Yeah, coming into play, Tehran had the 7th most walks in the National League, and he's showing why. He sometimes just finds or loses control of that strike zone. Got great stuff, but doesn't matter if you can't throw it over the plate.
Adam Lind has now reached base safely in 19 straight games. He's on for Chris Davis. Varnway wants to chat about it with Tehran. Want to say hello to our buddy Ed Alf from Spiders. He's here in the ballpark today with his girls.
Yeah, big contributor to Brewers fantasy camp. Donates batting gloves, and always got my Spiders catcher's mitt up here.
That's a nice mitt.
Looking sweet. Smells great too.
I might have to commandeer that one.
Smells like a new car. The leather.
If only it didn't have your name on it. I might have to.
You could rip the stitches out, I guess, if you really needed to.
One stitch at a time. What's it say? Rock on
Rock,
there?
yeah. Any way you can morph your name into that?
Let's see. I could probably make a B out of it, out of the R. Make that B, make that an R, and then I don't know. I think it's yours. But I do like to wear it when I'm calling play-by-play. As Davis sends one deep to center field. That's way back. Maven at the wall. Goodbye. Wow, off the scoreboard. Chris Davis, a 2-run home run. And the Brewers are back in business.
Just a matter of time for KD. Yesterday, a couple of near misses, warning track shots, but got all that one off the Miller Lite side, the bottom of the scoreboard. Getting the Brewers right back into this one. And he knew it, into dead center. That's where the big boys go. Chris Davis.
Watch Maven right at the end. He leaps in the air, and it hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
First hit of the ball game for the Brewers is a home run dead central. First home run since returning in his second game. His 6th overall, gives him 18 runs batted in.
That's a pretty quick bat for Chris Davis. That's the key to his success. Not a lot of movement, not a big load, but boy, does he have lightning fast hands in the strike zone. Bat speed at the point of contact. That's what hitting's all about.
Now I got to keep this glove on the rest of the inning.
That's okay. You can keep it on.
It affects a little bit of my penmanship.
Throws your dexterity off, equilibrium off a little bit.
It's all right-handed with notes and whatnot. But there appears to be a rally in it, so it stays. Jeanette right off the end of the bat.
As long as you take it off when the game's over.
Does feel good.
It's well broken in now, too.
Have you ever actually used it?
Yeah.
Other than just doing this?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's got a nice pocket.
Play catch in the backyard, off season. Go out there mid-December.
This is for you, Scooter. The glove stays. 1-2 pitch. And he popped him up. Coming in, Markakis. And the second out of the inning.
You know, Martin Maldonado, who likes those bright colors. You know, he had the lime green, border around his catching gear. He's been keeping an eye on that glove. I had it down in the field when I first got it. Kind of giving it the eye, thinking, where'd you get that thing? I told him.
Well, we'll give it one more batter. Gene Segura with 2 away. Don't want to use up all the hits in it. Right to Peterson, and that will retire the side. However, one swing of the bat by Chris Davis, and this one is a game again. 4-2 off the scoreboard he goes. Welcome back, KD. With a home run by Chris Davis, our AT&T U-verse rewind. How about his series? He comes back from the DL last night, and nothing wrong with that surgically repaired knee. He was flying for this one, made a terrific catch. Sliding just shy of the wall. Had a hit last night. Almost hit 2 out last night. Just misses for Davis. Even Counsell was talking about Davis feeling like he's close to connecting, and boy did he ever, as he bangs one off the scoreboard to make it 4-2.
Yeah, he was right, and boy did he connect. You're right about Davis, though. I mean, not a big guy. He's well put together for sure, but 5'10", but really does pack a punch in that bat. Very quick hands. Good fastball hitter.
And measure that home run at 425 feet. Cameron Maybin hit a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. The big blow for the Braves today. Sharply on the ground, took a bad hop, but Segura plays it, and what a throw to get Maybin.
Boy, what a heck of a play by Gene Segura. Wow, bad hop and all. Bad baseball came up on him. Watch this hop right here come up on him. And look at the way he's able to use the soft hands, go back and make a nice throw to first to get a speedy base runner by half a step. That's a big league play at short.
That was beautiful. Even Andrelton Simmons appreciates a play like that. The Gold Glove shortstop for the Braves.
That's all soft hands on the backhand, and a lot of players, all shortstops have hands like that. But, the other positions, you get those backhands, you get the hard hands, that ball hits on the backhand and it falls out. He's just got such soft hands, whether he's going up the middle or backhanded in the hole, and a good strong throw to first.
Markakis pops this one up. Back is Jeanette, coming in Gomez. And there is out number 2. Well, that Chris Davis homer has given the Brewers some life here. Now we'll see if Fiers can continue to put up the zeros. Kelly Johnson also homered in the 3rd, his 2nd home run in this series. He had gone since May 1st until Monday with just 1 homer. A long drought. Spent some time on the disabled list as well. Oblique injury. So he went about 2 months between homers. From early May to early July, and he's hit 2 since in his last 9 at-bats.
Yeah, when the Brewers were in Atlanta in May, he was on the DL. Didn't even play.
Fiers has him 0-2, and another pop-off. This out to Parra. So that's that. 3 up, 3 down. Good shutdown inning by Fiers after the Davis home run. 7th. Here come the Brewers now after getting on the scoreboard in the 4th. Back to our Carsoup.com trivia. Who are the 3 relief pitchers in Brewers history to be named to at least 2 All-Star games with Milwaukee?
Man, the sack man on that list, I know.
There you go. Dan Plesac, affectionately known as the sack man, and then the Hall of Famer Raleigh Fingers, early 80s.
Sack man does a heck of a job on the MLB network.
Yes, he does. We always enjoy watching Dan Plesac entertained with his sound effects and his enthusiasm. That's not fake.
That's the way he was down in the bullpen. I mean, when we were playing together.
Yeah, that's nothing new for you to see.
No, I mean, that's him. I mean, whether he is, you know, you're one-on-one with him somewhere or he's on camera, he's the same guy. That's what you admire about Dan Plesac.
Hernan Perez leads off for Milwaukee.
He's kind of always got that smile on his face. I mean, he doesn't take the game too serious. I mean, after all, it's not life or death, right? It's sports. Good mixture of humor and good-natured fun, but he knows how to break down a game.
A swing and a miss. Perez strikes out. That was a nasty breaking ball from Tehran. And he picks up his 6th strikeout now.
And not much of a break on it. Just a little subtle movement right at the end and got Perez over the top. That slider, the cutter, whatever you want to call it.
That was a good look at what hitters see, and hitters will talk about the dot, trying to pick up the dot of a slider. Try to see that as fast as you can. The dot is really the laces coming together. And so it spins so tightly. You see that dot, and hitters say that's when you know it's going to be a breaking ball, unfortunately. And when they're really good, there's not enough time to make up your mind. And it's got enough break on it to break off the bat.
That's why sometimes when you see that dot up there at the plate, and most good hitters can see it, and it doesn't break, that's what fools them. Those backup sliders turned out to be good pitches at times.
Called strike 3. Fires is rung up.
You expect a break, you don't see it, and turns out to be a good pitch. Hey, today's time of the game winner, the Hill Tavern in Winneconne. That's up there in the Oshkosh area. You know, the chain of lakes up there. They're today's Tavern of the game winner. And if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a 2015 Brewers home game. So for courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Winneconne. I like that. That's a fun name to say.
Out there at Baltimore on the Fox River. Spent some time up there.
Top of the order here is Parra after back-to-back strikeouts by Tehran. Gerardo is 0 for 2, back in the lineup today. Had the day off from the starting lineup yesterday. A move in which counsel said he struggled over. Today it is Ryan Braun who is out of the lineup. Counsel did say that Parra would be his primary left fielder. He is going to be a starter. He's not going to lose his job or be in a platoon with Davis, which is kind of where it was before Chris got hurt. So that means you start to look around, and that puts Davis on the bench, but also probably gives Gomez more days off and maybe Braun an occasional day off. I'm sure Counsel's going to work a 4-man weave into the 3 outfield spots because Parra can play all 3 outfield positions.
And it's going to become even a more difficult decision if Chris Davis swings the bat. If he swings the bat like he has in the first couple of games, it's going to be tough to sit him too. But you never know what's going to happen up to July 31st. A couple of weeks. Trading deadline.
Parra is at the end of his contract. He'll be a free agent at season's end, and there are a ton of teams that are here scouting him, and they've been scouting him among others. Parra's having the best year of his career. All facets of the game. The fact that he can play all three spots gives managers such flexibility. He's the only one the Brewers have. You know, you wouldn't put Braun could play left, but you wouldn't put him there.
Yeah, you wouldn't put him in center. He could play there, but no experience out there. But you know, Gerardo Parra's got the arm to play even in right field. Plays there a lot. He used to.
Ground ball to Peterson, and Tehran comes back with a 3-up 3-down inning with a couple of strikeouts. 4-2. The Atlanta Braves lead the Milwaukee Brewers after 5.
Series finale between the Brewers and the Braves, and if you are a biking enthusiast, you will love joining the Brewers Community Foundation for the inaugural benefit bike ride scheduled for August 8th. The ride includes 4 routes, 22 and 44 mile routes starting and ending at Miller Park, and also 88 and 100 mile routes from Madison to Miller Park. You can benefit 4 nonprofit organizations, including the Urban Ecology Center, Dream Bikes, Penfield Children's Center, and the Miracle League of Milwaukee. So it also includes a tailgate party and a ticket to that night's Brewers and Cardinals game. So, but yeah, Rock, we have a month to get in shape for the big bike ride.
That's not enough time for us.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot longer than that, Sophia.
Sophia could do it right now. Backwards. She just like politely lumps us all in together as if we're all in the same kind of top shape she is.
Yeah, just try to be nice. That's all she's doing. Allows us to insult ourselves.
0-2 to Uribe, starting the 6th inning for Atlanta. Fires had one blemish inning here today. Otherwise, he's been great, but that 4-run inning sticking out like a sore thumb on Fires right now. And the Braves lead 4-2. The Brewers have 1 hit. That was a Chris Davis 2-run home run.
It's been the Achilles heel of the Brewers pitching staff, hasn't it? They had 1 big inning. Each one of them have had 1 or 2 this year. That big crooked number.
The 34-pitch inning, surrendering 4 runs on 4 hits and a walk, and there was an error as well. Fires made the error in that inning. Two-two to Juan Uribe. Ground ball played well by Perez. Long throw, and it is by Lind. And that bounces over there by the dugout, and Uribe is into second base. That certainly is a ball that should be caught. I don't know if Lynn's going to have an error attached to it or not, but you got to keep it off the dugout or off the wall. He's trying to hang in there to get it out. That'll be an E5 on Perez and Uribe to second base to start the inning.
Yeah, the tough part of that play was over. That catching that second hop. I mean, it was a tough hop, hit hard, and just airmailed Lind. And a leadoff base runner for the Atlanta Braves.
Perez with his third error. His last two have come at third base, throwing errors. And there's a bunt. Perez will make the play to first, and this one's a good throw. Simmons, a sacrifice bunt. Runner at third with one out. Simmons giving himself up.
Interesting dropping down a bunt with a 2-run lead in the sixth inning. I mean, Simmons a pretty good hitter. He has been scuffing a little bit in the series, but I think he did that on his own. I don't think that came from the bench.
Now, you don't want that message coming from the bench like, we think you're in a slump and you really don't have a chance to get a hit.
So drop down a bunt in the sixth inning, get a man to third base. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think he did that on his own, which is appreciated.
Which is okay, because I mean, if he doesn't feel as though he can advance the base runner, if he's having a rough time at the plate, at least you have a productive out. You get a sacrifice.
Eury Perez with one away, runner at third, infield in for Milwaukee. Fires needs a strikeout here. Perez starting all three games in this series. With Freddie Freeman out, that moves Kelly Johnson from left field to first base. Got Johnny Gomes who could play there as well, but the Braves want to get a good look at the 25-year-old Perez.
Young Gomes has been pretty good off the bench. Got a pinch hit. Was it on Monday? Was that last night? That was last night.
Braves got Perez off waivers from the Yankees. Two and two. What that means is in the offseason, the Yankees tried to take him off their major league roster, and then he became available. But the team wanted to keep him on a major league roster. That's twice that's happened in his career. Yankees got him the same way from the Washington Nationals last year. So he's bounced around a little bit. Now the Braves want to find out if he's got some staying power. A strike call. Fires needed that one. Punched him out for the second out of the inning. And Uribe still at third base.
They got him on a fastball. He caught him looking. Maybe look for something else. That one right on the corner, and I think he knew it. And Barksdale rings it up. Well, you never want to be caught looking with a man at third, less than 2 outs.
Fourth strikeout for Fires, his first since the third inning.
This is where you can be careful here. You got the pitcher coming up. Don't make a mistake with a number 8 hitter. I'm surprised the Brewers aren't just walking him here. Bring Tehran to the plate.
And they're going to walk him now after he didn't bite on the first one. Council issues the intentional walk orders. Lavarnway is another guy the Braves got after he was granted free agency by the Orioles. They didn't really have him in the plans anymore, and Braves signed him as well. Here he is in the big leagues backing up Pierzynski right now. He'll draw the intentional pass. So 2 on, first and third, 2 outs, and the pitcher Tehran coming to bat, who walked on 4 pitches his last time up. Probably in swing mode here after walking on 4 straight, knowing Fiers wants to get ahead. Hey, misses badly. Something about Tehran, I tell you. I don't know if Fiers wanted Lucroy to come out. He was calling for that ball almost the second after Lucroy caught it. Like, all right, I'm good. Let's go. Give me the ball.
I know what you're going to say to me. Just throw strikes. I'm trying.
Just throw strikes. Okay, kid, this is the pitcher at the plate. Just throw strikes. Yeah, no kidding. Just guessing at how the conversation went.
You're pretty accurate. Going out there, what are you doing? Let's go, make him swing.
Oh, and he's 2-0, and now it becomes a mental thing for Fiers. 6 consecutive balls he has thrown to the pitcher Tehran. (2-0). There you go. But you can't take the at-bat lightly.
No.
I mean, this is a huge moment. It's the pitcher, and you should get him out, but he's got a bat in his hands, and he could deliver. Did he go? He did not. Checked his swing.
Checked his swing, dropped the bat, so the umpire couldn't see where the bat crossed home plate. Yeah, pretty good idea. And a good call. Didn't look like he went.
That's not a bad tactic.
Not sure why he dropped it, but he did.
3-1. Strike. Full count now.
Might take another.
You drop the bat, you know, and you say, okay, this is as far as the swing went right here. Just drop it straight down, even though he changed the angle just a touch. Runner goes. That one is out to Segura. And Fiers able to get the out to get out of the inning. Still 4-2. Brewers coming up, bottom of the 6th. Is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Big crowd on a Wednesday afternoon in Milwaukee, and the Brewers and the Braves. Final game of the series. Now everybody knows the middle of the sixth is the famous racing sausage race, except for A.J. Pierzynski. We almost had a situation with the Atlanta Braves catcher who was going out to warm up the pitcher. This was close. He could have been destroyed by the Brat. Brat's got some moves right there. That was nice change of direction. Looked like Barry Sanders. You're lucky, AJ. You're lucky. He's still standing. Brat doesn't lose many of those battles. He's top heavy, you know.
Well, you figure A.J. Pierzynski would never get into a scrap with the Polish.
Good point. At the plate, presented by Wendy's, for Jonathan Lucroy, who was 0 for 1 with a walk. Lucroy, Gomez, and Lind. Brewers are down 2. They have just 1 hit, but that 1 hit was a 2-run homer by Davis. And it was a no-doubter off the Miller Lite sign on the scoreboard. Tehran has walked 3, has 7 strikeouts. Pitching a gem here today.
Yeah, really only 1 mistake, right? Chris Davis, that fastball down the middle. I mean, literally 1 mistake.
Two to Lucroy. Got in on his hands. Simmons will wind it up, and Lucroy is out. First out of the 6th.
Hey, there's another Free Shirt Friday coming up at Miller Park next Friday, July 17th. Brewers square off against the Pirates. All fans in attendance get a free Roll Out the Barrel T-shirt courtesy of American Family Insurance. For tickets, go to Brewers.com today. The original logo.
Barrelman. Haven't seen Barrelman out here today. Maybe like Braun, he's getting the day off in the starting lineup. Gomez with 1 away. Ooh, inside, almost hit him. Just in front of the knees. Carlos struck out in the 4th inning. Tehran walked him in the 1st. And that's in the air, left field. Gomez watching. Perez at the wall. It's gone. A home run. Perez goes slamming into the wall. Carlos Gomez with the 2nd home run of the game, and it's a 4-3 Atlanta lead, as Carlos goes deep for the 7th time this year.
Well, got one right down the line. Suddenly got it down on the end of the bat. An 81-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch by Tehran, changeup, and Carlos able to wait back long enough. Got it down toward the end, but able to sneak it over that wall down the line. Perez went hard into that wall. I think he ran out of room. Not sure where he was. Very fortunate that he didn't get hurt.
Well, Carlos Gomez makes it a 1-run game. Here is Adam Lind. The 2 hits are homers for the Brewers, and they have produced 3 runs. For Carlos Gomez, first home run since he hit the grand slam last Friday. And he's showing where he hit it on the bat, right off the end of the bat.
Way back in the changeup, just got enough of it. That's how strong he is. Hit in a good spot right down that line. Anywhere else, it would have been an out.
And a compliment to Big League Wood, right? That's not a minor league bat he's using.
And notice it's not a cupped bat. It might not have gone out. It was a cupped bat.
That's a good point. Might have collapsed.
A little extra wood down on the end.
Yep, those are big league bats. Custom made for Carlos Gomez.
The Brewers were just in Cincinnati, which isn't too far from Louisville, and that's always a big stop for big leaguers going to Cincinnati because Louisville slugger deliveries come to Cincinnati. You ever been to that factory down there?
I have not. That's
Awesome.
on my list, though.
Awesome. Great.
If only we had a day off in Cincinnati sometime. Lind in the air to left. That's going to stay in for Perez. And he's got it for the out.
Actually, you can get down there and back on a game day. Done it before.
Mark that down for September. Speaking of big bats, Chris Davis in the 4th inning. Exit speed of 105.4 miles an hour. That is getting it. That is up there among the highest. Worth another look, courtesy of Columbia St. Mary's. Broke his bat this time and an easy little pop up to short. So that's the inning. But the Brewers climb within 1 home run off the bat of Gomez. Is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. 4-3, the Brewers inch closer after the home run by Gomez. Down a run as we go to the 7th, last game of the series. And the Brewers trying to salvage this final game. Hey, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, and healthy lifestyles, and plenty more. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. Wednesday afternoon crowd, and we get to the late innings. And Will Smith will be the next pitcher on the mound for the Brewers. Fires is done. 6 innings, 4 runs, all earned.
Yeah, tossed a scoreless inning last night against the Braves and has given up only 1 run in his last 19 innings of work. That covers 20 appearances.
Top of the order, Jace Peterson This is an inning for Smith where he'll face at least 2 lefties, and if somebody reaches, he'll face 3 lefties in this inning. So this is one he should dominate, and Counsell hoping that is the case to get the Brewers to the bottom half. There's a bunt. Lynn's got to hurry. Nobody there, and a bunt single by Jace Peterson to start the 7th inning.
It's one of those ones where Will Smith's got to get over there. You see the way he falls off toward third base, but really no chance for him to beat Peterson to first base. The second time that the Braves have bunted toward Adam Lind in this game. Remember, Perez almost beat one at first base earlier.
So here is Maben now. He shows bunt. He takes a strike. Maben's home run in the 3rd is the big swing in this game. A 3-run home run. He was up there with a man on and just 1 out. Actually 2 on and 1 out, I should say. And then he popped a 3-run homer. His 8th homer of the year. Now 43 runs batted in.
And knocked the changeup out of the ballpark.
All runs against Fires coming in that 1 inning. The Atlanta 3rd. Bunch of 4s on Fires line tonight. 6 innings, but 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. On the hook for the loss unless the Brewers can come back. One of the other day games today is over. A sweep by the Minnesota Twins over the Orioles. Brian Dozier homered again. Minnesota beat Baltimore 5-3. Dozier's got to be an all-star. He's in the final vote, so it's possible he would miss out, but man, the year he's having.
He got 19 homers.
There's a swing and a miss by Maben, a strikeout. And the first out. Smith needed that one. Peterson stays put at first base.
Dozier with 18 home runs. A good breaking ball that Maben swings right over the top. Didn't have to throw a strike. He did, and he got the out. Joe Mauer went deep in that game.
So the Twins are 46-39 now. And they're hanging in there in that American League Central. They've won 3 in a row after sweeping the O's. Kansas City, the division leader, has won 3. Royals are hosting Tampa Bay tonight. Other day games, the Mets and the Giants are underway in San Francisco, scoreless. Mets have DeGrom on the mound today. Jake Peavy for the Giants. They're glad to get him back. And then you got the Mariners hosting Detroit. Tigers out early 3-0. They're in the 2nd inning in Seattle. And then there's our game here. That's a run of the day games, 4 of them. Brewers down 4-3 to the Braves in the 7th. And the long ball has been the story today. All runs coming on the home run ball. Maben and Kelly Johnson with home runs for the Braves. The Brewers got a 2-run shot from Chris Davis and then a solo homer by Gomez just a moment ago.
And Peterson over there looks like he wants to run. He just can't get a jump on Will Smith. Smith doing a good job varying his delivery. Throw over there once in a while. Only 8 for 17. That's not a very good percentage.
Yeah, he's been caught once in this series, Peterson. Smith has Markakis in the hole, 1-2. Looking ahead to the Brewers' 7th, it'll be Jeanette, Segura, Perez. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Anybody gets on, a pinch hitter. Good play by Lucroy.
Yeah, smothered that one nicely, kept it close. Peterson not able to advance. Double play still in order. That's a big play. Always well done by Lucroy.
Looked like he caught that one on the bare wrist, on his right wrist, before it hit him in the chest or the stomach.
Try you want to fully open up that bare hand and the catching hand. That way you get it on the meat.
I missed the phrase meat. That was a phrase in your era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that just for rookies, or was that when you call somebody meat?
It's kind of a condescending term.
You know, you strike out a guy and then you say, "Sit down, meat."
Kind of like, you know, brain dead kind of thing. You know, you're not a thinking guy, just a hunk of meat up there.
Meat. Runner goes, and a swing and a liner to right field. Parra will watch this one over his head. And this is going to bring in a run. Peterson all the way around to score. And the Braves get one back. 5-3 Atlanta. Nick Markakis scalded one to the wall in right center. That had some carry on it. I think it fooled Parra.
Yeah, I mean, he had some backspin on it. Check it out, a mistake. You saw Lucroy, he wanted it on the outside corner, and Smith missed middle in. How many times do you see a pitcher miss that badly when a hitter really hammers one somewhere? And when a catcher doesn't have to move the glove, very rarely does a guy get a good wood on it. It's all about execution.
Markakis continues his good series. He doesn't have a homer yet, but he's got a lot of doubles this year, and that's his third so far this week. Drives in a run, makes it 5-3, still one out, and here's Kelly Johnson.
You know, the term meat that I used with referring to Lucroy and getting it on the meat of the arm.
Yeah.
When you don't hit bone, they don't hurt too much. That's what you call getting it on the meat, you know, the muscle.
You aren't offering a condescending remark on Lucroy.
No. Never would.
Fly ball to center. And there is out number 2. Yeah, when you said that, it just reminded me that there's another way to use the phrase meat that I kind of miss.
Yeah, I don't think guys would take too kindly to that these days. It was a different era back then.
Yeah. It's a very sensitive era.
Yeah.
We're in the sensitive era of Major League
Politically
Baseball.
correct.
Council's coming out to make a double switch here. 2 hits, 2 left-handers with hits against Will Smith. Jeremy Jeffress will be coming in. So Council is going to ask Jeffress to pitch across a couple of innings. The Braves have added to their lead. 5-3 pitching change at Miller Park. We'll take a break. But he's given up some runs in 2 of his last 4 outings. Counsell brought him in to face the lefties, and 2 lefties had hits, including the RBI double by Markakis. So the double switch in order with Shane Peterson entering the game in left field. And the new pitcher rock is Jeremy Jeffress.
Yeah, pitched on Saturday in the Brewers' victory at Cincinnati. Pitched 2/3 scoreless. And Jeremy as well has been throwing the baseball well and scored upon it in each of his last 8 outings. That covers 6 2/3 innings. Just as many strikeouts as innings pitched.
It takes Chris Davis out of the game. Remember, Counsell has Ryan Braun if that spot should come up later. Davis made the last out. So you got a big bat you could use. Peterson will enter into the 9 spot in the order. As Jeffress starts Uribe with a bender for strike 1. Over 33,000 on hand today at Miller Park. And the Brewers trying to give them something to cheer about. It's going to take a late rally. This game feels a lot like the first 2 games in this series. Brewers lost 5-3 on Monday night, lost 4-3 last night. Just gotten themselves behind and have not been able to catch up. Maybe today will be different.
In their first 2 games, Brewers not able to come up with that big hit, but today they haven't had many opportunities to score.
One of those rare days where there are more runs than hits for Milwaukee. 3 runs on 2 hits. Strike called. Uribe is rung up. Jeffress comes in and punches out Uribe on 3 pitches. Tehran's given up just 2 hits thus far. And he'll start his 7th inning. This is your time to tweet us. Send us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WisDataStrongFan. Don't forget. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. I want to send out birthday wishes to one of our favorite people up here in the press box, Lorraine Gill. Miss Lorraine runs the media commissary up here on the Lowe's level, and happy birthday to Lorraine. Dan Gibbons celebrating a birthday today. He's the man behind the camera. Gibby. Happy birthday, Gibby.
Did you say happy birthday to both of them individually today?
I just did on the air.
Okay.
That covers me. I haven't seen either one of them today.
I didn't know it was Gibby's birthday, but I did know it was Lorraine's birthday.
You know, every day is Gibby's birthday. Jeanette starts it for the Brewers, needing a rally. Got 6, 7, and 8 coming up. Segura to follow. Tehran has issued 3 walks and 2 hits. He stranded 2 runners in the first inning, 2 walks, left him out there. Every other base runner has scored. A 2-run homer by Davis, who's now out of the game. And then the solo homer by Gomez in the 6th. So they're making him count, and they've kept themselves in a position to come back here today, the Brewers.
They just need to get base runners. I memean, Tehran's been giving them a tough time today. A good combination of that 2-seam, 4-seam fastball and keep the ball down. He's only made a couple of mistakes. I don't know how much of a mistake that home run to Gomez was. Gomez got it down on the end, but only base runners have been walks today.
2-2 to Jeanette. In the air to right. On the run, Markakis dives and makes the catch. The Gold Glove right fielder in the American League last year, showing that Gold Glove form with that play.
Yeah, taking a big chance right there. That ball gets by him. Scooter's going to be sitting at third base. Yeah, had it all the way. Able to grab it about a foot off the ground, and Tehran liked it. Would have been a leadoff triple.
There's a good lesson in there. Markakis, how he dives for that ball as Segura swings and fouls one back. So he spreads his hand open and then hits the ground, the impact with the palm of his hand. So you don't roll those fingers under the thumb underneath.
They slide a little bit better. And it's always important when you're diving for a baseball that you don't hit with your elbow on your gloved hand, because if you do, it'll jostle that ball out. Good outfielder is going to make sure that glove hits the ground first, if they can. Sometimes you have no choice.
0-2 on Segura. Tehran running up against of his pitch limit. Not that he's got a firm limit, but can't imagine him coming back out for the 8th. If the Brewers can get a man on, maybe 2 men on, I think Freddie Gonzalez would go to the bullpen.
Yeah, last time out against the Phillies, he went 110 pitches.
He's got 2 out there loosening in the bullpen, does Gonzalez. It was 0-2. And now Segura has worked it even. Another one low. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. I'd be curious to see what Freddie Gonzalez does if even 1 runner reaches. I would imagine he's thinking along with us and knowing that Counsell has Ryan Braun looming in that dugout to pinch hit. Got a righty and a lefty. 3-2 pitch to Segura. And a little soft one on one hop out to Peterson. There is out number 2.
Well, you got the left-hander up. You got Peterson in the top of the order. Parra, left-hander. Trying to get as much out of his starter as he can. His pitch count right at the maximum right now. 1 pitch away from tying his season high in pitches in the game.
Yeah, maybe if there was a base runner, he'd bring on the lefty to face Shane Peterson, who would be next. But right now, Tehran has a chance to make it a 3-up, 3-down inning. (5-3) Atlanta. Brewers got a run on a Gomez homer in the 6th to make it 4-3. And then the Braves got it right back with an RBI double from Markakis. Perez got off to a 3-for-48 start to the season this season, and somehow has been able to not just get it back, but get it back with a flurry of hits after the Brewers acquired him via waivers. So his first 48 at bats, that most of that came with the Tigers, but then he was 1 for 15 to start his Brewer season. He's 21 for 49 since. A .429 batting average after beginning the season with a 3-for-48 start. There's a lot of guys just tuck the tail and call it a season after that. I mean, how do you fight yourself out of that kind of slump?
Yeah, hitting .450 almost in his last 21 games. That'll raise a batting average for you.
Got a nice, short, compact swing.
Amazing what consistent or relatively consistent playing time will do for you, particularly a young kid.
Perez talks a lot about Darnell Coles as well. Those two were together in Detroit, and even though Cole said, you know, I didn't really know him that well, he was only up briefly, but we'd worked together in spring training, and just that familiarity has helped his confidence. Well, he is out this time. Tehran comes up with the inning he was looking for. 3 up, 3 down with his 8th strikeout of the day. This series in the final game of the homestand before the Brewers head to Los Angeles. A day off tomorrow. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Here's how it lines up with Nelson and Bolsinger on Friday. Dodgers have yet to announce a starter on Saturday. Taylor Youngman on the mound. He'll make his debut at Dodger Stadium. He's pitching well. And then Kyle Loesch against Brett Anderson on Sunday. That is the final game before the All-Star break. 3 games at Dodger Stadium in LA. Vin Scully territory.
Yep.
Always look forward to spending time with Mr. Scully. Simmons grounds to Segura, and he is out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Jeffress struck out the final batter of the 7th inning, and now trying to give Counsell 3 more outs here in the 8th. Eury Perez now. Mike Fiers started 6 innings, 4 runs, all earned, gave up 4 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Our buddy Aaron Charlton of Stats Inc. sends a note that the line for Fiers, with exactly 4 hits, runs, earned runs, and walks, that is just the 2nd time in Brewers franchise history that has happened. Scott Carl had that line September 8th of 1997. I told Aaron he needs to get out a little more.
That's what I was just thinking.
It is a rare line with fours all across the board.
The Yahtzee line.
Aaron's going to be our stats man in LA. He's a good one.
Did he send that to you personally?
Yeah, it's a little personal nugget there. I thought I'd share it with you. Some you get, some you don't. I have to determine if you can handle them or not.
And that wasn't one of them?
That was one I think you would have got very cynical about quickly.
You think? Yeah, I think you're right.
Because you're a ball player.
Probably one that I wouldn't even have mentioned.
Don't judge me, Rock.
Okay. Touche.
That misses low and away. And Jeffers issues a walk to Perez.
Scott Carl, huh?
Scott Carl.
That's who did it?
Yeah.
Hey, Friday, July 17th through Sunday the 19th, the division rival Pirates come to Milwaukee for a 3-game weekend series, and call 414-902-4000 or go to Brewers.com for tickets. 3 in Los Angeles starting on Friday, then the All-Star break, and back at it on the 17th.
The 17th, affectionately known as Bill Schroeder Day here at Miller Park. I just declared that.
Is that right?
Yep. They're going to give you a big giant key to Miller Park on Friday, the 17th. That's when Bill will be inducted into the Brewers Wall of Honor. We have a Bill Schroeder extravaganza in the works. Just don't tell him.
It's kind of scary.
It's all a surprise.
I can only imagine what you guys have.
There's a strike.
Most of it embarrasses me. The stuff I've seen so far up on the screen.
It's going to feel more like a roast.
Yeah. It's a form of flattery, isn't it?
It is. It is.
That's the way I'm going to look at it.
Jeffress with one out, and that one's in there. Power sinker by Jeremy Jeffress at 96.
Not much you can do with that pitch.
This guy is emerging as a force. Looks like a closer. K-Rod occupies that spot, but you could certainly see Jeffress emerging in that role at some point. He has the stuff to do it. Totally different pitcher than when he was here the first time around. Zipped that one in at 96. He just missed.
And when he first went into the bullpen, the only question for Jeffress was how many days in a row can he pitch? He's been out there quite a bit. He's had 3 days in a row. And doesn't lose a whole lot of velocity when he does that.
Well, you know, Counsell's going to empty out his plus bullpen here with Jeffress, then K-Rod with a day off tomorrow. Try to keep the Braves at 5 and see if the offense can come back. Ground ball, Jeanette, Segura over to Lind, in time double play. Jeremy Jeffress with 4 outs, inning and a third, a scoreless ball. Brewers coming up, bottom of the 8th.
Braves for Milwaukee here trailing as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, certainly within reach, no doubt about that. Long ball kind of serving their purpose for Milwaukee here. They could use about a 3 or 4 run home run though, but Carlos Gomez the last one to pop one.
Yeah, that's right, and Carlos really got a hold of this pitch right here. Little off-speed pitch, boy. He crushed it. Now, all we need to do this inning, get some men on base, get Carlos back up there. Hey, let's score some runs.
Due to bat 4th this inning, Milwaukee trying to rally against the Braves and salvage this homestand before they hit the road for Los Angeles. We'll cover it all. Get post-game reaction on Brewers Live coming up after the game. Brian?
All right, Craig and Davey, thank you. It'll be Luis Avilan, the Braves setup man. Hard-throwing lefty is in his 8th inning. 5-3 Braves lead it. Avilan will face the left-handed hitting Peterson to start the frame, and then Gerardo Parra is on deck.
Yeah, pitched on Monday night, scoreless inning, gave up a hit. The only left-hander down in that Atlanta Braves bullpen.
Peterson in on a double switch. Council made that switch in the 7th inning. Smith for Jeffress. And Peterson batting for the first time, trying to get on base. The Brewers down 2. Been a familiar spot for them in this series. Little jam shot. Flare falling. Perez running. Can't get there. And Shane Peterson is on with a base hit.
There you go. There's a good start. First time the Brewers have been able to get their leadoff hitter on.
Peterson now 8 for 14 against left-handed pitching this year. That's a .571 batting average.
Stays right in there. Doesn't give an inch. Keeps that shoulder closed and able to fight that one off down the left field line. Brewers have some thump on the bench as you get down toward the middle part of the order. Braun, Ramirez still available off the bench.
Here's Gerardo Parra. And he gets one down on the label. That's falling fast. That's down for a base hit. 2 flares by the 2 left-handed hitters. And just like that, the Brewers are going to bring the go-ahead run to the plate in Jonathan Lucroy.
Yeah, no activity in that Braves bullpen, so the right-handers coming up. You got Lucroy and Gomez. They're going to be able to face the lefty. Another jam shot, but able to muscle it, fist it out into right field.
Avilan says,
what do I got to do to get an out here?
Yeah, dumb the luck.
2 jam shots, but 2 base hits.
Not every good pitch ends up as an out. Not every bad pitch ends up as a hit. And the Brewers have 2 on now with Lucroy coming up. They've got the heavy hitters coming to the plate here. And the Brewers down 2. This is their shot. Lucroy, who homered yesterday. Tying run at first base. Both run pretty well, Peterson and Parra.
Avilan has a pretty good changeup. He throws the ball in the low to mid 90s. Got a good changeup. Will throw a curveball too. And just missed with Lucroy on a first pitch changeup.
That's a strike. Outside corner. 93 with the fastball, and it's got a little tail at the end. Lucroy's a guy who can drive the ball to the opposite field. His home run yesterday was into right center. 2 on, nobody out. Brewers glad to see somebody other than Tehran. He goes. A changeup by Avilan. 1-2 the count on Lucroy. puts two pitches in the same spot, and they are 12 miles per hour difference in velocity.
And the key to a good changeup, you know, that differential, but keeping it away from the hitter. And Tehran threw a changeup, and Gomez hit it out because it was inside.
See what he does. 1-2, called strike 3. Fastball, his best one yet, and just excellent pitching by Avilan. Carves up Lucroy for the first out.
Got him on the inside corner. Probably expecting something away, and caught the inside edge. And Lucroy knew it.
Brewers have 9 strikeouts at the plate today. Tehran tied a season high with 8. The season high was against the Brewers back in May. 7 innings, 3 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts for Tehran. Gave up just 2 hits. Here's Gomez now with 2 on. That changeup misses. Gomez's home run brought the Brewers within a run in the 6th inning. Braves got it back at the top of the 7th. That'll be in the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. That is the foul ball that Gomez is trying to eliminate. It's a ball, and it's an early swing. And Gomez is opening up everything, which makes him susceptible to the outside pitch now, especially a guy like Avilan that has a changeup.
That changeup, really, when you're hitting a fastball in off the plate that hard foul that way, you're really susceptible to changeup.
Well, with a fastball out there, he missed. 2-1. A count changing pitch. So instead of 1-2, it is 2-1. And another fastball missed outside. Now it's 3 balls and a strike.
And you take that pitch because you're looking inside. When you're looking inside and that pitch just misses the outside corner, it looks like it's a mile away from you.
You got Lynn coming up next. Gomez representing the go-ahead run. 3-1 pitch. Gomez in the air, left center field. It's well hit. Perez is back, and it is gone! Carlos Gomez, a 3-run home run, and the Brewers have taken the lead in the 8th.
Changeup and knocked it out of here on a 3-1 count. Hit a changeup out against Julio Tehran. Got another changeup. Gave the Brewers a lead.
Wow. Two home runs today. His first in a couple of years. His 3rd career multi-homer game. And it was as if he was sitting on the changeup, Rock, and he hit a rocket out of here.
Man, not a bad changeup at that. It was down, and he wasn't looking for it the whole time. I guarantee it.
What a moment here at Miller Park. 3-run home run. The Brewers just like that, taking a 6-5 lead. All smiles for Gomez.
Kind of reminds you of the same pitch that he hit out in Cincinnati for the grand slam, but that was a fastball, but it was down. He golfed it on out of here.
Ball was on such a line that it looked like Perez might have a chance to make a play, but he didn't even get a leap off. And look how deep it went into the bullpen. K-Rod caught that ball on the mound back there, which is probably another 30, 40 feet behind the fence.
Yeah, rope, and K-Rod will get the 9th. He was getting loose. Just in case.
sets the stage for the lone all-star representative for the Brewers. I just had that feeling today. The Brewers knocking at the door. First 2 games with runners everywhere. And the home run ball has played large today. It's a curveball that Lynn's able to check his swing. That's the first one of those he's thrown. It's a 3-1 it goes.
The inning all started with 2 left-handers. That's why Avilan was in the game. 2 left-handers reaching, and Gomez put the finishing touch with the big homer.
And Lynn draws a walk. 3 hits and a walk in this inning against Avilan. Well, normally that is Gonzalez's best guy to set up for Grilli. And now Freddie's going to make a pitching change. So not a good day for Luis Avilan. You're always looking for a bloop and a blast. The Brewers get 2 bloops and a blast. Avilan is out. Carlos Gomez gives the Brewers the lead as he goes deep for the 2nd time today. The home run ball in play at Miller Park this afternoon. Pitching change. .65 here in the 8th. After consecutive hits by Peterson and Parra, the 2 lefties, against the left-hander Avilan. Avilan's out. And the Braves call on Vizcaíno for the 2nd time in this series. Just off the suspended list, Aramis Ramirez will pinch hit. Arodys Vizcaíno, pitching in just his 2nd game, did have a few minor league games coming back from suspension. Had 8 games down there to get ready.
Had a big fastball, throw a changeup and a breaking pitch, a slider. His numbers down in the minor leagues in AAA. He actually went through 3 levels of the minor leagues in a short period of time to get ready for his major league debut yesterday, or I should say season debut yesterday.
Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball from Vizcaíno. He was with the Cubs in the big leagues a year ago. Another one of the many young arms that Atlanta's been able to acquire. No fewer than 10 pitchers they have acquired that all considered prospects, major league caliber prospects. That includes guys that are young pitchers under the age of 24 that are in the big leagues. The best of the bunch has been their lone all-star representative, Shelby Miller. He was among league leaders in ERA. Brewers miss Miller on this 3-game swing. 3-2 to Aramis. 3 hits and a walk in this inning. Peterson and Parra with flares. Home run by Gomez. Lynn drew a walk, and now it's Ramirez against Vizcaíno. And he got him up the ladder with a fastball at 96.
Yeah, ball 4. Up and in. Vizcaíno with that big fastball. He can rush it up there. He can get up there to 97 miles an hour. This is 96 up out of the zone.
Here's Scooter Gennett. Lind over at first. Gennett takes a ball. 2-0 the count. Five home runs in the game today. Braves got 2 in the same inning. Maben and Kelly Johnson. Cameron Maben hit a 3-run home run to make it 4-0. Brewers got a 2-run homer by Davis in the 4th. It was 4-2 at that point. Gomez's first homer made it 4-3. And then the Braves got a run back on a double by Markakis. So entering this 8th inning, it was 5-3 before Gomez popped a 3-run home run. And now Milwaukee with the lead and their all-star closer ready in the bullpen. Chance to snatch one back here today.
This would be a nice win. And Brewers down 4-0. Able to come back.
Scooter's had a quiet day today at the plate. Although he did line out his last time up. He was 0 for 3. Looking ahead to the Braves' 9th inning, they'll have the pitcher spot due up first, and then the top of the order is Gennett into left. Perez was playing that direction. He'll make the catch to end the inning. So the stage is set for Frankie Rodriguez, the all-star closer, and a chance at a save courtesy of the long ball today. Chris Davis with a 2-run shot in the 4th. Gomez in the 6th, and then Gomez again in the 8th to give the Crew the lead. Carlos Gomez with 2 home runs today, and all 6 runs coming on the home run ball. Gomez with that 3-run homer to give him the lead. Here is Francisco Rodriguez now. 18 for 18 this year, 23 consecutive saves going back into last season.
Yeah, K-Rod pitched last Thursday at Philly and earned his 18th save in as many chances, tossing a perfect 11th inning. Outstanding control of the fastball. He's been unscored upon in 27 of 31 appearances this year.
Pinch hitter Pedro Ciriaco for Atlanta. And he's been Freddie Gonzalez's best pinch hitter this year. .353 average as a pinch hitter. He's had starts in the last 2 games. 6 for 17 as a pinch hitter, and 4 of his last 6. A hitter with a lot of confidence. Top of the order next, Jace Peterson. And then Maben. K-Rod trying to protect a 1-run lead and salvage the final game of this 3-game series with Atlanta. 1-2.
Fastball command, good changeup. He's been able to keep the changeup down on a consistent basis. That's the key to that pitch. We talked about that all day with all the changeups we've seen throughout the game. K-Rod's got the best of any of them.
Wants a fastball. Broke his bat. Segura coming in. Got to hurry it over to first. Barehanded play, and it's late. And the throw bounces off the photographer's well. Ciriaco runs well, and Segura knew he had only 1 shot.
Yeah, hit a little bit too hard for Perez to make the play. Not hit hard enough for Segura to get the out. Not even close. That was a tough hop for Adam Lynn. Brewers fortunate that hit the netting in front of the dugout.
That'll be an infield hit for Ciriaco. Top of the order now, Jace Peterson. And that netting they put up to protect those behind it instead of just the railing. Otherwise that goes into the well, and Ciriaco is in scoring position as the tying run. Peterson today has reached twice and scored twice. Had a bunt single in the 7th, then scored on a double by Markakis. He reached on a walk in the 3rd. He was on base when Cameron Maben hit a home run. And it shows bunt here, fouls it away.
Playing for the tie on the road. That's unusual. And trying to get Maben and Markakis up. Johnson to follow. Well, rule of thumb, normally you play for the win on the road and play for the tie at home.
Peterson has great speed. Not bunting this time, and he takes one down and in, able to check his swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peterson was a 2-sport star at McNeese State down in Lake Charles, Louisiana. He was a very talented football player, defensive back. But chose baseball. Braves got him from the Padres. There goes a runner and a swing and a foul back. They had the hit and run on.
I'll tell you what, he had that one stolen. And Ciriaco had a huge jump on Frankie. With that high leg kick, you can run on Rodriguez. They had a big lead. Not a great jump, but it takes Rodriguez a long time to get rid of it. He would have had it stolen easily.
Ciriaco has only had 1 stolen base attempt. He was successful this year. He's fast, but he's a utility player, role player, doesn't get many opportunities to run.
Still has to learn how to steal bases. Just because you're fast doesn't make you a good base stealer.
Stays put, and a swing and a miss. Peterson strikes out. First out of the inning is a K by K-Rod.
Well, Frankie giving him the change-up, and Peterson way out in front. And now get your double play and celebrate a victory.
With an off day tomorrow.
Even better.
Cameron Maybin. 3-run homer in the third. His 8th home run of the season. He is having a terrific year at the plate. High average and a high on-base percentage. There goes the runner. And Lucroy's throw to second. And the tag is out at second. Jeanette with a quick tag on a high throw. Now Freddie Gonzalez is out of challenges. He can't order a challenge. The umpires can go to a replay if they choose. We'll see what happens.
This is a great throw by Lucroy, maybe a little bit high.
Ooh, that is close.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we'll see if they want to go to a replay.
I'll tell you
what, he's out. Now he's out. He looked out to me.
That's a good call. Now the crew chief, Cedarstrom, made the call.
Right there, and he's not there yet. That's a great call at second base. Braves are going to lose this challenge. It shouldn't take very long either.
Yeah, and remember, Freddie Gonzalez had a challenge earlier in the game, so this is not a Braves challenge here. This is the umpires going on their own, which they can do from the 7th inning on.
Can't imagine it's going to take very long.
That's a great tag by Jeanette. That was, you don't really get the sense of it in slow motion, but a quick tag by Jeanette. They're just seeing the video here at Miller Park on the replay, and
yeah, he's out. I can't imagine they're going to reverse that. That's a good call at second base, and this one shouldn't take much longer.
And a smile on the face of Gary Cedarstrom, the taller of the umpires. He's the crew chief. He'll get word from the replay center in New York. And there's got to be a little satisfaction in that. You make a bang bang call like that. Again, the umpires don't have to go to a challenge here if they don't like to. Here we go. Out is a call. He got it right.
No surprise.
Big throw by Lucroy. 2 outs, nobody on as the call is confirmed.
That's a big league throw by Lucroy, and now there's nobody out with nobody on with 2 outs.
And Maybin up there in a 1-0 count. Into center field. Gomez right there. Fitting that he makes the catch. He hit the 3-run homer. And the Brewers win. They snatch him back here this afternoon against the Atlanta Braves. 6-5 the final. K-Rod 19 for 19 this season in save opportunities. Now 24 in a row going back to last year. Carlos Gomez with his 3rd career multi-homer game. And the Brewers win. They salvage the final one of this series by a final of 6-5. Makes a winner out of Jeremy Jeffress, who is now 3-0. All right, Craig Kashawn, that sets you up well for Brewers Live. He's ready to roll. Take it away, Craig.
Boy, it was worth the wait, wasn't it? What a fantastic comeback by the Brewers here. And we'll cover it all. We've got post-game reaction from the field, the clubhouse, and we'll get you set for the Brewers series at the Dodgers coming up next.